Why did I get orange? All right, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Pedal Down 4x4, where we are still working on the 3rd gen 4Runner. However, no fiberglass, nothing to do with that kind of stuff. Today, we are going to address an issue with the 4Runner that I've been having, and the stuff in this box is going to help us out with that. All right, you guys, so what is in this magical box? Well, these are link arms from Core 4x4. Now, those who do not know, the 3rd gen 4Runners come with a linked rear suspension. It's a 5-link. You have 2 lowers, 2 uppers, and you have a panhard bar, hence 5-link. So you have 5 links in total. Now on the 4Runner, the panhard bar is good. That's fine. So I didn't get that with this kit. I just didn't need it. No sense in spending the money if I don't need it. The other links, however, they are from eBay. So the links on the 4Runner right now are from eBay. They don't work too well. I've damaged them to the point where the actual bushing doesn't fit well into the cup anymore, into the little, whatever you want to call that little area you put the bushing in. They are polyurethane bushings, and I just completely ran them to the ground because we were flexing out. The 4Runner was just destroying the poly bushings after a while. Now, I was going to get new eBay links, and that's what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about installing eBay links on my 3rd gen 4Runner. But when it came down to it, when I was actually going to install, or when I was going to purchase the eBay links, it was way too expensive. The links themselves were $329, I believe, and then shipping was like another 200 something bucks. Before this, I got all the links for 200 bucks plus shipping. So with shipping, it was around 500 bucks, and for that price, I decided to buy some Core 4x4 parts. The reason why I didn't go all out, you'll see I didn't get like the full Heim joints, or I didn't get like the full Johnny joints and whatnot like that, is just because of the fact that I don't plan on keeping the back suspension stock geometry for forever. So this just needs to get it to drive down the road fine. So let's take a look at the new Core 4x4 suspension parts, and then we'll get them installed on the 4Runner. All right, so I got these links from Core 4x4. Now they were actually a little cheaper than the eBay stuff because of the shipping on the eBay stuff. The shipping was really expensive. So here are our bottom links. You can see that they are adjustable on one side. They are poly bushing top and bottom. This is kind of like their low range, not really stock replacement, but a little bit better than stock replacements. They're a lot beefier, so they're a lot stronger, but as of having Heim joints and maximum flex, you're not going to want to get these ones. You're going to want to get the ones with the Heim joints, but like I said, we're not going to be running these links for very long. And these little guys are the upper links. So this is the short links. This goes on the top of the 4Runner. They are also fully adjustable. Poly bushings on both ends. We get a little baggie of Zerk fittings right there. So that's where you can pump grease into these guys to keep them lasting long and they're not squeaking everywhere. And it comes with new hardware and more Zerk fittings, which is interesting. And then you get some stickers, so that's cool. But that's pretty much everything in the box. Now let's cut these open and let's take a real good look at them. All right, so this is the bag of goodies, bolts, hardware, all the boring stuff. Sticker, you get more stickers too. You get the bag of Zerks. And then let's take a look at our upper links. So I have a razor blade right here. We'll cut this guy open. All right, so let's take a look at these guys. So that's what our link looks like. That's our upper links. And they're orange. So that's interesting that that they're orange. And here's the other link as well. There's two uppers. You can see the holes right here. Each one of these holes are for a Zerk fitting to inject grease into them. Now, let me pull you guys a little bit further back because it's a little hard to see the lower links because they are a little longer. Put these guys over here. And then we have our lower links right here. And there we go. Now, same thing. Upper Zerk. You have your other side, lower Zerk. So you got Zerk fittings on each side to keep those poly bushings a lot happier. If you will notice, they are all orange. And to be honest with you, the reason why I went with orange was because why not? You know, like, why not? It's orange. It'll look weird. It's going to look kind of funny under the 4Runner. Because if you just look at the 4Runner, there's nothing really noticeable from the outside or from if you're looking at it like this. You can see that link right there, but it's just black. It's kind of boring. So why not throw some color in it? Oh, yeah, buddy. That's one. Let's get the second guy off here. Okay. Now you can see I didn't die. It's because you have 3 other links, or technically 5 links, or 4 links. All right, let me show you guys what this looks like. Okay, so this is what our old link looked like. Now, before I even start comparing them, this link is from eBay. It is heimed on one side, which the heim, oh yeah, that heim is shot. Yeah, that heim is gone. All right, well, the heim is bad. And this is the bushing on one side. You see how that just fell out? Now, that sleeve just fell out. It's all just falling apart. Now, the reason why there's so much grease in here was because I tried to save myself a little bit of grief from buying new links before I do the new suspension setup. But that did not work out too well. So, yeah, this arm is completely trashed. I bought the right part number for the bushings, and it's so wallowed out that it just doesn't work anymore. So, yeah, these are gone. These are gone. Or actually, let me bring this link back here so I can compare the size difference in the link arms. This is the new link. Now, you can see just how much more beef that this new link has. It's like considerably more beefy. The size difference is massive. So we're gonna unthread this guy. And the easiest way to do this really is, I'm gonna just take my shoddy bushing here. Just drop that back in there for now. Cover my hands in grease. And the easiest way, from what I've found, is you take one of your bolts, because this whole control arm setup is actually already set. So we're just gonna find one that goes in there. You are just going to slide your bolt through your arm, through there. Now that's perfectly straight. Now you can align up this end. So you can see that we do have a little bit of ways to adjust this guy. But I'm kind of curious, how much thread do they give you? Good Lord, that is a very good amount of threads. So let's get this guy lined up. Before we do that, we're gonna get one of these heim spacers in there so we can drop another bolt in here Now, if it's perfectly lined up, it'll line up, but you can see that it's not. So we need to turn this guy some more. I think that might have been a little too much. Oh, there we go. So that is lined up now. You can see that. Take this nut, and the nut just snugs up against there, and now you are locked into place. That's good. That's good. And now this link can go over here. That thing's all disgusting already. And for the purposes of this video, I guess I will already install these Heim joints. Or not the Heim joints, but I guess I'll already install the Zerk fittings on here. I tend to do this on the vehicle just because you obviously don't want to damage these little guys. They're real small thread. Doesn't take much to mess them up. That is the size. So all we're gonna do is you're gonna take one Zerk fitting, get that on your arm. You're gonna start threading that guy in. Make sure it goes in straight, and then you can start tightening her down. Now just remember, doesn't have to be astronomically tight. It is a little Zerk fitting. It's not massive. So I think that's good enough. We'll go a little more. Yeah. So that's nice and tight. That's not going to go anywhere. And it's going to deliver grease to where we need it to go. And then we'll do the same thing for this side. Put that Zerk fitting, start threading in. The one thing I don't like what they did here was, maybe it's just on these arms, because it's kind of their budget arms, is that they painted inside the threads. So that's, I mean, I guess it's a form of Loctite, but yeah, it shouldn't, you shouldn't have that in your threads. But it's not a deal breaker by any means. Yeah, it's nice and tight. So that's tight. That side's nice and tight. Let's go get this installed on the 4Runner. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's the next day. I just got off of work. I had to actually go to work tomorrow, but you may have noticed it's a bit of a struggle to get that lower arm on. And even though I said it was easy, but it was giving me a difficult time. And the reason for that is because my dumbass bent the actual, I bent the link mounts, like the tabs that it squishes it. I bent it in. I bent it in because I guess when we went wheeling one day, I must have hit a rock or whatever. Bent the tabs in, made it super tight, wouldn't fit. So I hammered it out, hammered away. I mean, it was a whole little ordeal just to get that one link arm in. And I was like, man, this is a lot more difficult than usual than putting in link arms. Now that's solved, whatever, it's fine. Just gotta bend it out with a hammer. You're Gucci. So you would have known that on these arms, you have these Zerk points to put the Zerk fittings in to fill up with grease. These core 4x4 arms have a big issue, in my opinion, and I'm going to show you guys what that issue is right now. Now that I have a light and you guys can see a little better here, let me show you guys something here. Can you guys see that? Let me zoom in. Get in there. Get in there. Can you guys see where that Zerk fitting's at? Right. So that's not going to work. And this Zerk fitting, you can see that Zerk fitting inside there. Yeah, that's going to be a pain to get to. So here's the deal. I took a look at those. I was like, oh, you know what? I do have 90 degree fittings for Zerk fittings, and they do fit these arms. However, there's not enough space for the 90-degree fitting to fit. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to remount that arm and mount the Zerk fittings downwards. The reason why I have a problem with that is because when wheeling, you're gonna be riding these arms, you're gonna probably break a Zerk fitting off. So that's not awesome. It's not the end of the world. The Zerk fittings are pretty cheap. So I'm going to take that arm back off again, and we're going to flip it and then do it again. So yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, yesterday was a bit of a finagle, especially because I had to go to work. It started raining, water started getting in the garage, and I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. Slapped it in, and I'm like looking at the Zerk fittings. I'm like, man, this is not gonna work. I mean, you can make it work, but I'm just not going to. So let's get the old one out. Let's flip it, and let's get these other arms in. All right. Looks like these are gonna have to face downwards, which is... All right, you guys. So got the arm remounted. That's how it should have gone. That's how easy they should fit. But now you can see that Zerk fitting is on the bottom, as well as this one over here. Like I said, it's not ideal. If you're going off-roading, that's gonna get clipped. This is gonna get clipped by something. So I think I'm gonna put plugs in there after I grease everything up. But yeah, this arm's in. Let's do the rest. All right, you guys. So we need to get the rest of the Zerk fittings into the control arms here. And I was going to apologize because I don't know where my other little tripod went that I can put the camera under the car, which is why the view was a little weird. Not ideal for filming, obviously. But like I said, I was going to apologize because look what I found. I found my little tripod. So that means we're going to time-lapse the install now. I don't have to film it weird. And you guys are going to watch me install Zerk fittings. And we're going to install the rest of the links in the car. And this video will be over. And then I have to go to work. So on to the time-lapse. So it is starting to rain, so I'm gonna cut this video a little bit short. You guys can see where that water is going in, and it's going right where I'm trying to work. So that's cool. But got all the links in, got that link in, the passenger lower, passenger upper, got the other passenger driver and the driver lower. For those that don't know, this side is very tight in here for the passenger or for the driver upper. So it's pretty tight in there. It's not like terrible, but it's definitely not ideal. But it goes in. It's just a little bit of pain to get a wrench in there, but nothing too bad. All right, you guys. So that is going to be pretty much it for this episode. It started to rain and water is going right where I'm trying to work. So I'm going to cut it there. I have to get ready for work anyway. We got all 4 links in. There is something that I'm a little irritated about. So when you buy this kit from Core 4x4, you can add hardware, which I did. I added all 8 hardware. But you would have known that I used the factory bolts for the uppers because these bolts are way too big and it doesn't even fit their own arms. So it's like, I don't even know why they sent them. It doesn't even fit their own arms. So I had to reuse the factory stuff. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but if somebody, you know, maybe they had a messed up bolt and they're trying to get some new hardware, that's pretty unfortunate. So hopefully they can fix that. I'll try to reach out to them just to let them know. Like, I don't need the bolts, but like, that kind of sucks if you're ordering new bolts and you can't even use the new bolts. But anyway, links are in, so the car is looking pretty good. It seems a lot stiffer now. I'm going to grease them fully. I have a grease gun in the back, but like I said, it's raining, and you guys don't need to see me greasing up Zerk fittings. That's pretty boring. But, well, this whole video is pretty boring. But anyway, so we got the, I'm going to grease them up, and then I actually have to get ready for work. So I'm going to cut it. It's raining. I don't want to be wet and working, and then I have to go to work. So that is going to be it for this week's episode. Till next time, and as always, thanks for watching.